Time now for all things current in California politics. I'm Walt Gray, joined again this week by Rich Ehisen, editor of Capital Weekly publication. Rich, always good to have you here. Let's talk about the California high-speed rail project. Now could be $100 billion. The original price tag, $33 billion back in 2008. President Trump said about this, "I've watched a lot of stupid people do a lot of stupid things, but that's the worst cost overrun I've ever seen."
Well, that's a great soundbite for sure. Whether it's the greatest one we've seen, I don't know. It's definitely a lot. I think all the joking aside, I think everyone who's been watching this play out over the years has acknowledged that, nobody believed it was going to be 33 billion, million when it started, because they never are, right? I have friends that are, work for the authority who will tell you that they're perfectly on schedule and on budget. So, it's a great soundbite. It is certainly something that gives President Trump something to beat Governor Newsom over the head with.
Yeah, that's what he's doing, and he's saying they're not going to get any federal money on all this.
Yeah.
Speaking of Governor Newsom, a poll just came out from Berkeley saying by more than a 2-to-1 margin, 54% to 26%, the California voters believe Gavin Newsom is basically not tending to his duties as governor, but he's devoting more attention to things that would favor him running for president.
Well, and I think that's a poll result of his own making. I mean, I think, again, people on both sides of the aisle think that for sure. But that poll's also interesting because that poll also indicated there was a lot of concern about people about their financial well-being, about the direction of the country in general, the direction of California in general. Again, Newsom is a very convenient focal point right now. But again, he's done this to himself because he has spent a great amount of time over the last, 3 years? I think you could, very honestly say, making cases for himself kind of on a sideways way to be a presidential aspirant. So I don't think anyone could say they don't understand why people feel that way.
He's been out on front on a lot of national issues, trying to focus what he feels the Democratic Party should be doing.
Well, and I think a lot of people on his side of the aisle feel very betrayed by some of those things too. So I think that right now, I don't blame anybody for thinking that way, and I don't think anyone who observes this governor would blame them.
You've probably done the tourist thing at Alcatraz, right? At some point when family comes out to visit.
Sure.
President Trump wants to fire Alcatraz back up again. It was abandoned as a penitentiary in 1963. It was outdated then. Is this really something that's on the table, you think, Rich?
Well, I can't help but smile a little bit when I hear this because it's so absurd on its very face. It's 1963 is the year I was born, and that's how long that prison has been closed. So I look at this and sometimes with Donald Trump, it's very difficult to understand or to glean, is he serious or did he, is there some other motive behind this? I think if he wants to make a point about crime run amok, Alcatraz is something that resonates with a lot of people, but I don't think it's a serious proposal. And honestly, it's not financial. How does this contribute to cutting costs? I mean, it's an absurd proposal.
Even financially, it cost $133 million just to get it back up and running. Never mind, I think $50 or $60 million a year. So
they could build something from ground up in the middle of South Dakota somewhere, and it would cost them a fraction of it. They're not going to do it.
Definitely would. Rich, thank you. Always good to see you. If you'd like to reach out to Rich, you can do so. Rich.Eisen at capitalweekly.net.